and welcome again to our fabulous cook-along. So we've got a few things to do tonight. So we're going to be doing lots of things in the food processor. I've had lots of people asking for us to do more in the food pro, so this is a really great recipe for that. The great thing is I know in the past I do my cooking and then I do some other things on the food processor just to show you what else you can do. But this recipe tonight is so quick and easy it is quick, it is easy, but it's one of those things that we're going to start in here with doing our steaming. So I mentioned to you that I'm going to be steaming some salmon, which I just realised is still in the fridge, so I'll grab that out in a second. But the salmon I'll grab it out now actually. The salmon we mentioned just to cube, and if you wanted to marinate it. So I've just done some beautiful salmon and I've just marinated it with some ginger and some soy and some garlic, so nice and easy. The reason that I've cubed it is because we want it to cook quite quickly so that we can move on and start using our food pro. When I was sort of testing this recipe, I was quite surprised how quickly we could actually do this, which was great. So what I'm going to get you to do is I will get you to boil some water. So just turn the jug on. The reason I'm saying that is because if we put boiling water in here, it's just going to make us be able to cook the salmon just that little bit quicker. So if you could just, a couple of minutes, I'll give you to boil your jug ready to go, that would be great. So I hope you've all got your steamer basket ready to go. So we're going to pop that in there. But what we're also going to do, so while your jug's boiling, you can get this ready. If you decided to use corn, so I did mention that corn on the cob was one of the things that we could use. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop the corn in the bottom, so we're not going to have any speed going, and we're actually going to have that in the boiling water while the steam is cooking our salmon. So it's really, really easy to do. So I'm just going to chop. Now you do actually need to chop it into 4 pieces because it's too tall for the basket if you're going to leave it just in half. So if you've got corn and you've decided to do corn for your poke bowl tonight, then we'll get you to just get that ready. So I'm sure your jugs are all boiling away and getting ready. So I'm just going to pop those into the bottom. So it was really exciting last 2 weeks ago when we were doing this. We had a lady from Germany, we had someone from London, and I think there was another country that we had as well, which is really exciting. So, it's really, we love to hear where you're watching us from. Also love to hear if you're cooking along with us as well. So I know that some of you watch this later. You can do watch it through YouTube and things as well. And we make sure that we put in up the method and your ingredients, so you've got everything there, which is great. But yeah, so it's really exciting to have people from all around the world watching. So thank you and welcome again. So if your jug isn't quite boiled, I'm sure you won't be far behind. But I'm just going to pop in. Now you want to make sure that you don't put too much water in here. So if you I tend to do it so that it's almost at the top of the blade. So if you want to actually come in and have a little look, you can see that the water I've put in there is not quite over the top, okay? Because we don't want our water getting into our salmon, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in now. Perfect. So that goes in. So you see then that's why I had to sort of cut that corn into the 4 pieces. And then I'm just going to pop my salmon in there with my trusty tongs. My daughter unpacked the dishwasher, I'm assuming, and forgot where the tongs go. Found them. Okay, so I'm just going to pop in some salmon. Now, if you were doing chicken, so I did give you lots and lots of options. You might even decide that you're going to do your salmon raw, so you might not even need to do this step, but this is just one that I've sort of been playing around with and wanted to do so that you could see. Now, I'm not going to just pour that in, I'm going to place the pieces in because there's a little bit of juice in the container and we don't obviously want all that juice pouring onto the corn, even though honestly it doesn't matter. But I'm just going to pop those pieces of salmon in there like that. Now, believe it or not, this salmon is actually going to only go on for 5 minutes, okay? The reason I'm only doing 5 minutes is because what I worked out is if you fully cook it in this first process, it's going to be overcooked by the time we get ready to pop it into our poke bowl. So I've given we're going to just set it aside and it's going to continue to cook in that bowl as well. So let's get that going. So hopefully you've kept up with me. So if you've just joined us, we've got some beautiful corn cobbed, cut into 4 pieces down the bottom in some boiling water. Again, I use boiling water just so we can get the process happening quickly. And all I'm going to do is set my machine. So I'm using the steam function because I want to use it, get it up to 120 degrees. I'm also doing that for 5 minutes, okay? So no speed because obviously we don't want to be doing anything to that corn, and we're just going to let that go, okay? So we've got 5 minutes. So what I wanted to do in that 5 minutes is then get you all prepped and ready to go with our food prep. Okay, so I'm going to start, and I did give you a whole long list of different vegetables that you can use. So hopefully you've picked some great things, and it's colour. So the colours are amazing, and I think that when food looks amazing, people want to eat it. So it's a really great thing. So I'm just going to peel my carrots, which is really exciting, isn't it? Watching someone peel carrots. I'm nearly there. Look, how quick was that? So we're going to do that. I don't like leaving the skin on carrots because it just gets that funny colour. We're also going to do some cucumber, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do the cucumber tonight actually. Something just a little bit different. So I'm actually going to cut my cucumber in half so that I can show you 2 different ways that you could actually do your cucumber. Now I've also at the moment am addicted to these little baby capsicums, and the reason I love them is because when you cut the end off and you take that tiny bit out, there's lucky to be a seed in there. Where are we? Oh look, we got 2 seeds. But they're really gorgeous little things, and they've got that really great colour. You actually buy them in a little pack together. So they're yellow, they're orange, they're red, and they're super, super cute. And that always looks really nice in your salads as well. So it doesn't matter what you decided to use. We just want, that beautiful colour. And what I also love about doing something like a poke bowl is that if you've got little ones or even big ones in the house that don't like capsicum, or they don't like, shredded beetroot or whatever it is, then you don't have to put it in. So it's really great kind of thing to do, that you can just you could have everything chopped and people can make their own bowls, or you can just make the bowls as you go, knowing who likes what and who doesn't like anything. So it's a really great way of being able to do that as well. Now, I'm also going to do beetroot. I love fresh beetroot in a salad. So I'm not going to pre-cook the beetroot. It's just going to go in fresh. Now, beetroot's always messy, hence why I'm going to wear a glove. So I'm just going to chop the ends off that beetroot, and I'm just going to peel that skin off as well. So this is great because you can have your salmon cooking while you're getting everything else ready, so it makes it nice and easy. You don't have to pre-prep because you're waiting anyway, so you may as well just prep as you go. So we've got all of that off like that. You can buy little pre-packed, already peeled and kind of cooked beetroots, but I find that they're quite soft, so I just like to use the fresh beetroot for my salads. Okay, we've got that ready to go. Now I'm going to do some avocado as well. The avocado I'm not going to slice in here. I don't know how that would go, but you could use your mini bowl and turn it into a guacamole if you wanted. So pop your avocados, some salt and pepper. You can even pop some tomatoes in there. So if you wanted to do that, that's another thing that you can add. But I just like to, have that sliced sort of avocado look. So that's what we're going to do with that one. I've also got some of the edamame beans, so you can pop those sort of things in there as well. Completely up to you what you want to do. We also gave you choices of what to do on the base of your salad. So I'm just going to do some rocket and some baby spinach, and I'm going to pop that in, and then I'm going to dress everything else up in there as well. So that's a really great way to be able to, change it up as well. So you might like to do some cauliflower rice. You could do some vermicelli noodles. I just realised that if I look in the back of my phone, if you're wondering why my eyes went wonky, I can see how long we've got left. So that's so good. It's taken me how many weeks to work that out. But yeah, so we've got a minute left on this, but we've got our cucumber, we've got our carrots, we've got our capsicums. You know what, at the moment avocados are hard to buy, and I don't know that this one's going to be okay. Let's just test it. You know how exciting it is when you cut an avo and then you go, please be good, please be good, please be good. I had a feeling, so I had a backup. The backup plan. Okay, better It's just been sitting in my fruit bowl, I think, so let's just get rid of that. Okay, you ready? This one's going to be amazing. Cracking. That's what we wanted. Perfect. So if you wanted to add a little bit of coriander to this at the end, I'm going to give you a little trick on how to make really nice looking sauce over your bowl as well. I've got a balsamic glaze that I'm going to pop on there, or you might want to do a garlic aioli. You might want to make your own mayo and actually do like a Sriracha Mayo. So that's a really, you've seen me do mayonnaise a couple of times. We did one where we added wasabi, which was really good for prawns, but also try adding your Sriracha sauce as well. So that was quite amazing. Okay, my tongs. So if you want to come in and have a look at where we're at with our salmon, you can see that it isn't actually quite cooked, but that's exactly what we want to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to flip my pieces over, because I'm going to pop the lid back on and we're going to continue to steam that for that little bit longer. But you can see in just 5 minutes that that is coming along absolutely beautifully. So we'll flip that over. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the lid back on and I'm going to just let that sit. Okay, so that's going to continue to cook. So if you were doing chicken in there, just cube it to make it really quick to be able to do. And marinate it. So I just put in some ginger, some garlic and some soy. Got that marinating a couple of hours before we went on, and then ready to go. So I'm going to just pop that off. And then we're just going to sit that aside. So I'll just sit that up here. Okay, and that's just going to keep steaming and be absolutely perfectly ready for us when we're ready to go. So we're now going to pop on our Food Pro. So you all know the trick here. So at the moment it's probably still saying, oh hang on, let me look in the reflection. It's saying steam, but this very clever machine, when we actually turn that on, it goes to food processor. So we don't actually have to worry about changing anything, which is fabulous. Okay, so my tip is if you're doing beetroot, do it last because it's super messy compared to everything else. The other thing is you don't need to wash the bowl in between because they're all going into the same anyway. So we don't need to worry about that. And we're going to do some carrots, some cucumber, some beetroot, some capsicums, the beans I mentioned, and also too, don't forget we've got that corn sitting in that boiling water down the bottom as well, which we're going to add. So let's get started. What to do first? Actually, I'll put in the slicer, and I've just got in there the 2mm slicer because I wanted to show you a really clever way to actually do your cucumbers. So if you pop your cucumber in like that, and then we just hit start. Then we've actually got cucumbers that we can then, if you wanted to, you could roll them up, you could do anything with them, which is great. And they look really just different, something different for that sort of bowl. If you want them shorter, cut your cucumber shorter, it's really up to you. But of course, the other way that we can do our cucumber is just, helps if you put the blade in apparently, because otherwise it just falls through. How clever. Okay, so we'll pop that back in, and we're going to pop that back on. And we can just pop our cucumber in like that. This is just so easy to be able to use. So we're just going to... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of bowls. I have to feed the cameraman, so I thought I'd do two and be nice. Camera woman, sorry. Okay, so I am just going to add in to the bottom of that. So as I mentioned, you could do anything. You could make some cauliflower rice in your Food Pro. You could do, you know, your noodles, anything. So you could actually put your vermicelli noodles in the bottom if you weren't doing the corn, and have those sitting in the boiling water while you're doing your fish as well, which is great. So another sort of, you know, thing that we can add to that. But it's endless. You can do anything you like. And you know, if you've got other suggestions of things that we can, you know, other people can sort of put in, then share your suggestions because we all like that. Okay, so that's going to be the base of our bowl. Okay, so let's go. So we're going to pop in some cucumber. And the colour, we want lots and lots of colour. So we've got green and green so far, so let's add some colour to that, shall we? So we're just going to pop in our cucumber. And like I mentioned, if you wanted to get your cucumber and you do, you know, some little curls, you can add those in there, which look really cute as well when it stays curled, which is beautiful. So we pop those in. But you can do anything you like with those as well. So we've got those in there. So I'll just pop that aside and we'll go to the next one. I could chop everything all together in here, but it sort of just looks and gets a bit messy. So I'm happy, it's easy just to do one sort of thing at a time. The next thing I want to do is show you how we can slice these beautiful little mini capsicums really quickly as well. So all I do is I just line them up. Actually, I might take this out. So this is where you can get that extra large sort of feeding tube from as well. You just always need to make sure that this gets in at least to that line on your machine so that you actually can, it will work for you, because otherwise it won't work, which is another great safety feature. So I've got those in there and I'm just going to chop those as well. And this is going to give it some really nice colour as well. The beetroot's rolling everywhere. Okay, so we're just going to add some beautiful capsicum to our bowls. And I love that you've got these little capsicums that have got the yellow, they've got the red, they've got the orange, they've got everything in there as well. So we've got that. I probably could have made 3 bowls the way I'm going. But you can see how, you know, just not a lot of vegetable actually goes in there, and you can make some really great things. So now I'm going to actually do some grating, and we're going to add some beautiful carrot to that. I can smell that salmon and it smells absolutely amazing, so I'm looking forward to adding that into our bowl. So then we're going to do some carrot, of course, because carrot's always yummy. And again, it's going to give us some of that beautiful colour into our bowl. So let's just not put it right next to the capsicum because we want to divide up all those colours. But I love how easy it is to do a carrot. So you saw that. And what I tend to do is do a lot of food prep. So if I'm, you know, it's a Sunday night and I'm getting ready, well, school holidays, yay. But if the kids were, you know, still at school, then I could have carrot and my cucumbers and everything sliced. So if they want wraps or sandwiches for school, it's really, really easy. Because it's all done and ready to go. The great thing with our blade is because it's such a high quality grade, it's like hospital grade blades, it's not bruising anything, so you don't have to worry about all of your you know, veggies that you've chopped up then going funny in a funny colour after a couple of days. So that's a really great thing with why our food processor is such a great machine, and that you can do that food prep. If you're, you know, celebrating Christmas and you want to get ready, you know, do your salads and things the night before. You don't have to worry about them going yucky or horrible on you at all. So that's always really good. Now, the last thing I'm going to grate is my beetroot. And so I'm just going to wipe that out. Not that it really matters because it's all blended together anyways. And I'm just going to pop in the beetroot. I love fresh beetroot in a salad. But as I mentioned, I don't pre-cook the beetroot. It doesn't need it. I'm going to just pop this over here because it's quite messy. That's why I said do your beetroot last. You don't want to be doing the beetroot first because it is. Sorry, I've got cucumber on my floor. It is quite messy to be doing that beetroot. Okay, so that was just half the beetroot. I mean, you know, if you wanted to do the whole thing, you can. And I'm just going to pop in some of that beautiful beetroot into that salad as well. It's looking amazing. The colours are absolutely beautiful. And that beetroot does a really great job with that as well. I'm just going to wash my hands. Because it'll be purple for days otherwise. Okay, so we've got that in. Now what I'm going to do, it's all getting a bit messy here, isn't it, honestly? I'm going to put this aside, so just bear with me, and I'm just going to pop the Food Pro out of the way. And we're going to then get out our salmon and our corn. Jeez, I'm a messy cook, aren't I? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to get that corn out, and I'm just going to slice it easily off the cob that we've got there as well. So I'm going to open this, but I want you to now, if you want to come in and have a look again for me, you can see now that salmon wasn't cooked on the other side when we flipped it, but now it's cooked perfectly. Okay, so it's a really, that's what I keep saying, if it looks raw, don't worry about it, just keep the lid on, and we'll get back to that as well. So we're just going to pop out our salmon, and we're going to then grab our corn, and it's cooked beautifully. You don't have to go any longer, it's absolutely fabulous. So we'll grab that out. Now, if you wanted to, obviously, you know, you don't want to put hot corn in your salad, that's fine. Just, it doesn't take long to cool once we've chopped it off. So we've got that out. And then I'm just going to use a fork because it's really hot. I'm just going to cut that corn off the edges there. And nothing better than fresh corn. So try to avoid buying it in a can. So much nicer when you actually do it yourself. And it was no extra effort because really we've just popped it in there while we're cooking our salmon. And we can just take that off. And again, if those that don't like corn, you don't have to have corn, you can do whatever you like. But it's a beautiful sort of thing to add to a salad as well. You can see how quickly we've been able to do this. So if you were serving, you know, 4, 6, 8 people, it doesn't really take much longer because you've got everything ready to go, and you're just popping it through the machine, so it's nice and easy. So I'm just going to pop that out of the way so that you can see, but I'm just chopping that corn up. Done. Okay, so while I'm just going to give that a couple of minutes to cool down, I'm also then going to just grab my avo, and I'm going to just take that skin off. And then I would just do some nice slices like so. And then we're just going to pop that into our bowl, like so. If you want it smaller, cut it smaller, do whatever you like, cube it, mash it, whatever. And that's what I love about something like this, is you can do whatever. It's totally up to your imagination as to what you're going to do with your poke bowl. So you could do a Mexican one as well. So do the corn, do the black beans, do, you know, get some seasoning, like taco type seasoning, and sprinkle it over some chicken and steam your chicken in there as well. So that's always really yummy. And then we're just going to pop our corn on. These are just looking amazing. So I hope that you're enjoying putting these together. And then all I'm going to do is pop my salmon in the middle. So again, you know, let us know what you decided to use too. And if you've got other ideas of what we can pop into our poke bowls, share, you know, let us know. It's great to always have that feedback from others because, you know, everyone has amazing ideas, and if we can share those amazing ideas, we will become more amazing, which is exciting. Okay, so I'm going to pop that salmon in. Oh, that's for the cameraman. She didn't say anything, she's not watching. Okay, so I'm going to pop that all in there like so. And of course we want to do some sort of sauce on this. So I did mention I've got like a beautiful balsamic glaze, which is really easy to use to pop on there. And it also is great because it comes in this one here, which has actually got a little spout on it, which makes it nice and easy to decorate. But what I wanted to show you is a really clever way to make it look really clever, is if you get yourself a little glad bag, like so. Okay, you can just do this one later if you don't have a glad bag, or a freezer bag, any sort of bag. And then I'm just going to squeeze into the corner of that bag some of my aioli, like so. This just makes you look that extra bit cleverer. Okay, so we're going to just seal that up. And I'm just going to snip the corner of my glad bag off. And then I'm just going to dress my salad. How fabulous does that look? So you can see that, what is the time? It is 6:23. We started just after 6 o'clock. we've managed to steam some beautiful salmon. We've made some amazing things with our food processor, chopping, grinding, all of that. And we've got these beautiful, I'm just going to pop the balsamic one on that one. But don't they just look absolutely amazing and super quick? And it's summer, it's hot, it's meant to be raining. I'm in Sydney and we seem to have a lot more sun than rain at the moment. And these are really great things to be able to have on those really hot days, keeping us all healthy as well. So I hope you enjoyed cooking along with us tonight. What I would love, we always have a little competition where you can win a cookbook at the end as well. So I've got a question for you. What did I do? What of the programs in here did I use? And what was I, what program did I use? And tell us that and we will give you the opportunity to win a fabulous cookbook. We'd also love to wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas from the Magimix family to your families. Thank you so much for joining us for our cook-alongs. We've really enjoyed doing them. And hopefully we'll do lots and lots more next year. You know, maybe some beginner classes, some advanced classes, but just some more things. So if you've got ideas of things that you'd love that we maybe might not do on a Thursday night, we might do a cooking class on another day as well, then please give us your feedback, because at the end of the day, that's how we're going to know what you want, and we love to be able to help you to make sure that you're using your amazing machines. And thank you so much. I will see you all in the new year.